To introduce to you our guest, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. A little bit about him is that I will say he is not a slacker in life. He is someone who has embraced his path. And as one of my friends who is in the health industry says, he crushes the day. He does. He is an ordained interfaith, interspiritual, and New Thought minister. He is a certified holistic life coach, a Reiki master teacher and practitioner, a visual artist and performing artist, a certified teacher of American Sign Language, as well as a freelance American Sign Language interpreter specializing in theatrical and musical interpreting. He is the founder, the artistic director, and the performing member of the acronym is BELIEVE. It's an American Sign Language theatrical performance company. And he is both founder and senior minister at the Center for Living of Sacred Phoenix Fellowship and Institute. He's also author. He writes for theexaminer.com as the DC New Thought Examiner, and is the author of 2 books, Visual Music, Interpreting Songs in American Sign Language, and Moving Mountains, The Journey of Transformation. I know that we have a very warm welcome from Laurel for our guest, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson.
It was Sunday morning, and the alarm clock did what it does every Sunday morning. And William Jr. did what William Jr. does every Sunday morning. He rolled over, turned the clock off, rolled back into bed, and pulled the covers over his head. His mother did what she does every Sunday morning. She was already standing at the door. Young man, get up. It's time for church. I'm not going. What do you mean you're not going to church? I'm not going. And I have 3 reasons this time why I'm not going. And what are your 3 reasons this week? Well, the choir won't let me sing with them. The kids at church don't like me. And after service, there are never any jelly donuts left. I'm not going. And with what must have been the patience of Job, his mother says, okay, mister, I've got 3 reasons why I'm not going to church. I've got 2 reasons why you are going. 1, you're 40 years old. 2, you're the pastor. How often do we hear source ringing and we hit the snooze bar because we're not ready to get up? We're not ready to step into what we are being called or awakened to be. There's this thing called mastery, or being a master. And if I were to ask you, and I'm not at this present moment, but if I were to ask you, are you a master? Would you say yes? Would you, it's a really good question. Let me think about it. Or do you already know that the answer may or may not be yes? But what I will ask you, and this is the teacher in me, and I expect an answer from every in the room. Give me an example of someone who you do consider a master. Name someone that when you think of this person, they exemplify mastery. They are a master. Who might you name?
Raymont Anderson.
Oh, yeah, take this. I'm done. Name someone else. The Dalai Lama.
Oliver Sacks.
Oliver Sacks. 2 more.
John Coltrane.
John Coltrane. 1 more, preferably female. Oprah. Now, if I ask you, what is it about these individuals that you named that makes them a master, what do you say?
Thank you.
Exactly. Gratitude. Got a long gratitude. Yes. What else? They didn't roll over and hit the snooze bar. Exactly. What else?
Self-actualization.
Self-actualization.
Discipline.
Discipline. 2 more. Awake and aware. Oliver Sacks.
They put in their time.
Put in their time. So some level of discipline in that 10,000 hours.
Yes.
Love.
Love. Do you realize that the fact that you can identify that means it's in you? Because you can't. When I was a child, when we were in school, someone would say, if you smelt it, you dealt it. If you spot it, you got it. So that means if you can spot discipline, love, gratitude, self-actualization, if you can spot this, then it means it's in you. Question is it in you to the degree that you want it to be realized? It can't not be there. We already know source, spirit, God, it, love is all there is. It is a circle whose circumference is nowhere and whose center is everywhere. There is nowhere that God is not. The flowers, the chocolates, the chair, everything is it. The only thing is, to what degree is it realized that it is it? The fish that is swimming in the ocean is not even aware of the water that it is surrounded by. It just does what it does, which is swim. We are swimming in source. We are swimming in that substance of spirit. But are we conscious, awake, and aware of it? Are we conscious, awake, and aware of our own power as source, as spirit, as God living in us, as us, moving through us, with us, and throughout all of creation? Somebody asked me a while ago, Ray, I don't understand this whole, God is everything concept. I don't get it. So I said, okay, check this out. So you know this thing called snowflake? Yes. And every snowflake is unique and individual, every single one. Now, I'm sure no one's actually counted and said, well, I've been doing this for 50 years and I've counted them all and I've looked at them. But we take from the beginning of snow, from that first snowfall till now, they've all been unique and different. Raindrops, water. Oceans, rivers, steam, water. So if God is a formula, God would be H2O. And from God, snowflakes. Because the root, the base, the substance of snowflake is H2O. Coffee, H2O. River, H2O. Raindrops, H2O. Hail, H2O. Human, God. Chair, God. Room, source. It's all the same thing. But when we wake up in the morning and that alarm clock goes off, do we look in the mirror seeing God through God's eyes? Or do we see, oh my goodness, I got another grade. Oh. When we walk into something and stub our toe, what comes out of our mouths? How often do we denigrate how great and how glorious, how beautiful and amazing that we are? But we say things like, oh, I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm not skilled enough to do that. And we give all these reasons why we can't. Versus saying, you know what? Wait a minute. There was this guy he's a monk or priest or something, who was a polyglot who supposedly learned how to speak fluently 77 languages. I didn't know there were 77 languages on the planet. But apparently this man, 77 languages. How is that possible? When we say, oh, I could never learn Spanish, oh, I could never learn Japanese, I'm having a hard enough time with English. We are so quick to say what we can't do versus what we can do. Once we set our mind, once we step into that greatness that we know we are, what's no longer possible for us? The very word impossible says I'm possible. Years ago when I was studying shamanism, when I found out that I had Native American on both sides of my family, I said, I want to learn more about this. And I went to a powwow kind of thing, and they told me that there was a tribe, and I don't remember what the tribe is right this moment, but there was a tribe that The word can't and impossible does not exist in their lexicon. So my mind, being the nerd that I am, my mind started to wrap around. So wait a minute. When she asked me, Ray, can you fly? Clearly I'm going to say, yeah, I'm not even going to bother. No, I can't. But if that word doesn't exist in my vocabulary, that phrase, I can't, that's not possible. It doesn't exist. Then what does exist? Going back, you said self-actualization and mastery and discipline and all that stuff. Somewhere in your consciousness, you are awake enough to realize that that is a thing. Anybody here speak Japanese? Anybody else speak Japanese? Okay. So for this one, you shush. Okay. So when I say this Japanese word, tengu. Other than the one person who knows Japanese, anybody else know what a tengu is? So if I were to say, so Oprah just gave me some money, and I'm going to write you a check for $2.9 billion if you go find me a tengu by the time the day is done.
It's possible.
Now, yeah, it's possible. But,
Jerusalem.
right. But the very first thing you have to do is find out what it is.
Right.
So whatever this thing that you want to be, to do, to have, you have to know what it is first. And I find a lot of times we get into this, we can be, do, and have whatever we want. And then we say, well, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? I don't know. So we talk about it on a surface level, but we don't really dig, because to whom much is given, much is required. If you stepped into the fullness, the isness, and allness of yourself as the Christ, as Christ consciousness, as the I am that I am, you don't think people are going to be knocking at your door? You don't think that when you speak a treatment that it's not going to, not just the person you spoke it over, but every person that they touch. Every person who sees you and every person who you see will be moved by the sight of God. Every person you touch and every person who touches you will be touching the hand of God. Every person you speak to, who you hear and who hears you, will hear the voice of God. That's a lot of responsibility. Are you ready for it? Now, let's go to Japan for a moment. There's this story that I learned a long time ago when I was studying martial arts. There's this older guy walking down this road, and he spots some samurai fighting down the road. And he pauses because he's scared, because, samurai sword. And he pauses. And the samurai down there is fighting some ninjas and stuff, and they're gone. And he spots the older guy down the road. And he spots he's carrying a sword. So the samurai approaches him clearly. And the old guy backs away. And he says, you know what? You are an offense to me. Tomorrow morning at sunrise, we will do battle. We will duel. And you will be no more. The samurai sheaths the sword and walks away. The older guy's like, oh my goodness, what did I do to deserve this? So he goes and he preps his last meal, because he doesn't know what he's going to do. Makes some food, makes a fire, sits down, and goes to sleep. Somewhere in the middle of the night, he feels an elbow in his ribs. He jumps up, sees this guy laying there, who was not invited, takes a stick and swats him. The guy jumps up, grabs his sword, and is ready. The older guy backs up. Please forgive me. And the sword master says, no, forgive me. Yesterday I must have had too much sake. While walking down the road, I spotted a fire and smelled such aromatic food. I came over to enjoy, and I must have fallen asleep. Please forgive me. Whoa, time out. You're a sword master? Yes. The samurai said that he was going to kill me at sunrise. Please teach me the way of the sword. He picks up the sword that the other samurai had spotted, and he shows it to him. And the sword master says, wait a minute, that's an imperial sword. Where did you get an imperial sword? The emperor gave it to me. What could you possibly offer the emperor that he would give you an imperial sword? I made tea for him. You are the tea master? Yes. Yes, then I will teach you the way of the sword. But first, make me tea. So he puts the sword down and he takes out his equipment and he breathes. And he picks up the bowl and he picks up the tea and he stirs and he breathes. And he adds and he stirs and he offers and he twists and he breathes. And the sword master takes it and he sips. You are the tea master. So you will teach me the way of the sword now. No. What do you mean, no? So what am I supposed to do? Make tea for him. And he walks away. So the tea master gathers his stuff and he goes to the road. Samurai is there. And he places the stuff down and he kneels. And he takes the sword out and he places it and he breathes. And the samurai approaches, draws his sword and approaches. And the tea master breathes. And he unsheaths the sword, just yea much. And the samurai pauses and he takes a step back. And he pulls it out further, and the samurai takes another step back and resheaths his sword and says, "Forgive me, I did not realize who you were." And he leaves. How many of us are that master, already whole, perfect, and complete? But we think, I need that skill first. I need that class first. I have to read that book first before I can be as great as I am supposed to be. Now, right here, right now, you're already it. You're already whole, perfect, and complete to the degree that you let that steel plate slide open. It's already there. What is that saying about, so if you go to the ocean to receive water, do you go with a thimble? Or do you go with a truck and a pipe and a machine? What do you go to source with? And do you go to source as in, I'm going to go to source to ask source to whatever, help me with, heal me from, whatever? Or do you talk to source the way you talk to yourself? Because it is you. The mind you use is the mind of God. So do you visualize it as something separate? Or do you do, now Ray, why are you, I don't even understand why I'm doing this. Who am I talking to? Oh, don't laugh at me, but who am I talking to? It's me talking to myself. It's the exact same thing when the lowercase I or the lowercase m me, the lowercase I, speaks to itself as the capital I, the capital M, that higher self. So it's not praying to God. It's praying from a consciousness of God. Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, at no point was it something outside of. The Father and I are one. So even when it was speaking to, it was the Father and I are one. So, anybody remember the old Ten Commandments, Charleston Heston? Other than one, because I'm sure. But I don't know. I don't want to assume, because I don't know. You speak Japanese, so I don't know. But Charleston Heston. Yul Brynner was Pharaoh Ramses, right? Yes. And there's this, so as it is written, so shall it be done. Because he knew that once I say it, when I speak a thing that is not as though it were, it will be, period. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. Do we speak that kind of authority into our lives? Do we speak that kind of knowing? And see, there's this thing where we talk about have faith, faith. I aspire to this level of faith is not necessary. Because, got a question for you. Do you have faith that when I open my fingers, this will fall? Do you have faith? Because faith says, it might not, but I trust that it will. Or Do you know that it will? There's a difference. Faith is the hope of. And a lot of us have that syrupy, sugary kind of, well, I hope you get better. And we can say it however, but I hope you get better. For me, yeah, I got rid of it. You notice I have Superman on my, yeah, okay, so the reason part of the nerd in me, leave me alone. Don't judge me. So, in the movie Man of Steel, Lois Lane says, so what does the S stand for? And Superman says, oh, it's not an S. Where I'm from, it means hope. That threw me off the chair. Just that concept was like, what? And I started to think about, what does hope mean? So I said, yeah, that little sugary, I hope I get that job. Oh, I hope Oprah calls me so I can be on Super Soul Sunday. I hope. No. Hope should be holding only positive expectation. Because if you're holding only positive expectation, then my expectation is not that I hope you, my expectation is, yes, you will get better. Because you already are. In truth. My hope is not that you will get that job. Maybe that job is not the one you are supposed to get. But I know your right and perfect job is already there. And the moment you are ready to step into it, the doors will open. Right and perfect relationship already exists. And the moment you are ready for it, it will avail itself. Electricity existed way back long before Benjamin Franklin decided to go fly a kite. Cell phones existed at that exact same time. Laptops existed at that same time. Sound systems existed at that same time. They weren't ready for that awareness, which is why it didn't happen or materialize. Over time, learn. Over time, expand. Over time, hey, so if we take this thing called light bulb, twist it, light, but everything that went into creating that light bulb, that speaker, your cell phone, existed in 1817, 1200. When you are ready for that level of mastery to be, do, and have whatever you envision, it has no choice but to come. Walt Disney was told multiple times, you want to make what? No. And he went bankrupt a couple of times. And he said, I don't care what you say. George Lucas was told, you want to make a movie about what? A robot and a little green guy with... No. And he said, fine, then I will find a way myself. And now Star Wars, now every film, somewhere, Lucasm Films Limited has his stamp on every film. Whether it's Industrial Lights and Magic, something is coming through the hands of George Lucas's company. But had he taken, no, it's a stupid idea, no, fine. If J.K. Rowling had said, they don't like my book, they don't like my book, forget it, and burned the manuscript, none of us would know who Harry Potter is, which now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Do not let someone tell you what you cannot do, including you. You don't have that right. Period. You are God, made flesh. Be it. Do it. Have it. Not because you desire it, but because you deserve it. It is so, and so it is.